It looks like the SEC is finally starting to crack down on these hedge fund hyenas, these freaking dirtbag scavengers that they see a company and that company's not doing the greatest and they jump on it with their filthy, filthy little paws and they try to tear it to pieces. I'm so freaking tired of these guys. I can't stand it. You know, short squeezes, yeah, that's great if you're involved in it, but this shouldn't be a part of the market. It shouldn't be something that happens. These guys that are selling synthetic shares, they're selling shares that don't exist because they're so sure that this company is going to disappear. They push it down and push it down and push it down. And if they screw up, what's going to happen? Our government is going to bail them out. Our government is going to give them our tax money, man. That makes me so freaking mad. I can't even begin to explain how that makes me feel that our government is bailing out these scumbags. Now the thing is people get out of government, right? And they immediately get hired by some finance company, some hedge fund, you know, and they have ties to government. And then they go and they talk to their buddies and one hand washes another and one hand washes their butt and balls. And I can't believe it. It makes me sick. But hopefully the SEC is actually cracking down and the SEC will change some of the laws which pertains to hedge funds and gives them the ability to do these scummy things. Let's look into this article. Let's see what it says, right? Lives are about to change for the new and seasoned holder in AMC stock. With a surge of retail investors in the stock, the SEC is finally cracking down on hedge funds. AMC community, you were loud and they heard you. You were loud and they heard you. Here's why I think there's an AMC margin call right around the corner. This is pretty good news, man. And this was passed. The SEC approved this. I believe in mid-May. 9-page document. Go read it. I'll have the link up. I recently published an article. This is the writer talking, of course. I recently published an article exposing the lobbied SEC. And we all know the lobbied SEC is people paying the SEC to let the hedge funds do their dirt. People in the hedge funds used to work for government. People in government used to work for funds. It's nasty. It's nasty. The lack of regulation on short selling in AMC has been ignored for too long. And it's not just AMC. It's all across the board. It's Sundial. It was GameStop. And they're still doing it, guys. They're still freaking doing it. Many of you shared this post on Twitter and used the hashtag SEC do your job. I'm confident they saw you. So thank you for standing up for change because you got their attention. And you know what? For once, maybe they did something good. Maybe they actually are trying to initiate some change with these dirty tricks these goat lickers play. Hedge funds betting against this stock are destined to lose, and here's why. I don't like to say, and nothing's a definite. It's not just AMC. It's kind of a wider thing than that, but AMC's fundamentals are no longer fragile. Retail investors and institutions alike are buying the stock. AMC Entertainment is experiencing a surge in sales volume now that the movie theater franchise is open. Now, a lot of volume has left cryptocurrency right now because there were huge gains. It started going down. And a lot of people have left crypto. A lot of volume has left crypto, and they're waiting to make a move. A lot of people are waiting to make a move, and I think that the stock market has not as much volatility, and I think a lot of people are going to kind of put some money into the stock market over the next year because the lockdowns have subsided. I think there's going to be a lot of growth in certain places, not really all across the board. I don't see that. Shorts betting against the stock have bitten more than they can chew by continuously shorting AMC stock through the use of synthetic shares. This just curdles my milk, man. Regulators are now taking the necessary precautions to ensure they don't lose money as hedge funds continue betting against the soaring and bullish price. Look at it, guys. If these big banks are on the verge of bankruptcy, are on the verge of losing everything, you know what's going to happen? The freaking government's going to swoop in and hand them a bag of silver so they could not get destroyed. And that, I want them to crumble. I want these big banks to crumble. I want these big banks to lose everything. That's what I want to happen. If they're doing scummy things. If they're not doing scummy things, then God bless them. I hope they do great. Okay? I'm not against all banks, for God's sakes. I'm against these short sellers. I'm against synthetic shares. I'm against this. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know it. Retail investors now have the higher floor. The CEO of AMC Entertainment is in touch with his shareholders. I have one share of AMC, and he called me yesterday. That's not true. Celebrities such as Chance the Rapper, don't know who that is, have publicly announced the opportunity of this investment. And I didn't know, is that a comma? He started a sentence with a hand? Oh, well. And more people are learning how to invest in the stock market through the platforms such as Frankness, okay, shamelessly plug your website, and other subreddit communities. Want to know what hedge funds have? Absolutely no respect. Absolutely no respect nor support. Sorry, I'm a douche. This is huge news for retail investors holding AMC. This document is 9 pages long, but I've done the DD to help you understand what this proposal means for AMC and how it can trigger a short squeeze. Will it trigger a short squeeze like we saw with GameStop? I don't think so. But the long-term implications of this approved proposal, the long-term implications are going to help us, in my opinion. I don't know why it says approved on 5/18 on the 18th. So it was not that long ago, like a month ago. Many retail investors have been curious as to what this proposal means and why it's such great news for AMC. This article is going to provide you with a quick rundown of this new proposal and will be updated as new margin call news begins to develop. Now, I know this article is a month old, but I wanted to see what happens before I started talking about it. But I truly believe that this SEC approved document, right? These new rules that are in place are going to have some pretty big changes on the free reign that these hedge funds have, because they could just make an unlimited amount of stocks and basically just short the hell out of anything they want. This proposal provides brokers with flexibility on margin requirements for institutions, maintaining a position in risky plays, such as a short position on AMC. But brokers feel a short position is too risky. Then they can raise the amount of equity required in an account. And that's great. That's great that basically these funds are being watched closely. They're going to start actually watching these funds closely. Now, just having laws on the books doesn't mean anything. Those laws need to be enforced. They need to be enforced. So just because they're there doesn't mean a darn thing if they're not enforced, okay? Keep that in mind. Regulators request collateral. The proposal ensures regulators have some sort of collateral from all the shorting that's been occurring. Regulators want to make sure that hedge funds have enough cash reserves to meet their minimum equity requirements. All right. Risk management is the biggest takeaway from this proposal. Now, a few things have actually changed. The hedge funds, I believe they were monitored every 5 minutes, and now it's going to be a minute-to-minute monitoring. And if they fall below and they don't have the minimum equity requirements to cover the bets that they're making, they're going to need to deposit it immediately. And if they don't, it's going to be automatically liquidated so that it can cover their bets. This is within 20 of 24 hours to do this. I think that's great news. I think that's great news, and I hope that it's actually enforced. Regulators are going to start raising margins depending on how risky the plays are for certain institutions. Their purpose is to limit the amount of leverage hedge funds are able to use. The ICC does not want to be responsible for closing out closing hedge funds positions, right? These hedge funds, they'll take such big risks and they don't care. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind that they will risk the American economy. They'll risk the government. The government. Sorry, I'm reading an email. They'll risk the economy. They'll risk mine and your security. The American people, guys, we're the ones that suffer because of the games these scumbags play. This is where we begin to see short cover their positions. If an account updated margin exceeds the account's capital, the broker can either margin call them, cover some of the risk, or completely liquidate their positions until the margin no longer exceeds the capital. And this is great news, guys. This is really big. This is gonna basically tie I was gonna say tie the hands of hedge funds, but it's not. It's just gonna make them do what everyone else has to do. Now, because hedge funds shorting AMC are betting against a bullish stock that only knows up, right? Shorting the stock at the moment is ultra risky. Regulators are going to start demanding higher margin requirements as collateral. Now, margin, if you're doing things on margin, you don't have the cash. You don't have the cash to cover it. So if something, happens against what these guys expect, they're going to be in debt, thousands and thousands of dollars, millions and millions of dollars. If they don't have the cash to cover, they're going to cry bankruptcy. They're going to get bailed out by the government. But what would normally happen, right? What would normally happen if it's going the other way? They would take their money and they would leave because they made a winning bet. But if they make a losing bet, they want us to bail them out? Oh, boy. Short sellers are sitting on nearly $1 billion in losses via routers. A margin call usually occurs when an investment suffers enough losses that the investor's margin account goes below a certain amount. Oh, boy, they've been shorting. They lost so much money on GameStop in the last year, and I love it. If the hedge fund shorting AMC fail to meet a margin call requirement, then the broker can begin liquidating their assets without notice. Regulators will only step in to liquidate accounts if hedge funds continue to take a nosedive in losses. And this is great. This is what needs to happen because these guys know that if they have a monstrous loss, they're going to be bailed out by daddy government. And it's time for this to end. Furthermore, hedge funds are drowning everyday retail investors. Hold the stock. Well, okay, look. This guy obviously has an agenda. You can read his writing. It's true. Hedge funds do take our investments, right? All of our investments, they skim off the top and they eat off of us as a whole, okay? Now, whether to just hold, listen, you need to do what you got to do. You need to do your own research and you need to make your own decision. Expect a surge in price action and volatility. All right, retail investors can expect a surge in price action in AMC. And this is the guy just pumping AMC and trying to pump AMC. You know what I mean? And the rest is the guy trying to pump AMC. Citadel bought AMC. Why is Citadel going long on AMC? And it's just an AMC butt lick, the rest of the article. Now, hang on. This is the commission's paper. These are the new laws that are in place. It's 9 pages. Now, if this is implemented, it's approved, right? But if these laws, if they follow through, if they begin to sell these shorts that are so out of the money, and these hedge funds are held responsible for the calls that they make, it's gonna stop them from making extremely stupid calls which end up hurting us. It's like making huge long shot bets. They're just doing it and doing it and doing it, and when it hits, they make tons and tons of money. If they lose, the government's going to bail them out, or they're going to claim bankruptcy. They have so much money, it really doesn't happen a lot. But it's the ties they have to government, and hopefully the SEC is going to start doing their job. Hopefully, that was Janet Yellen is going to actually do something, and do something positive. And cash needs to get stopped printed. They need to stop printing this freaking money. The countries all over the world, they're turning away from the U.S. dollar because the faith in the currency is waning because of the reckless printing of money. It's just they're just printing it and printing it and printing it. So, I mean, you wonder why gas has gone up so much. A gallon of milk has gone up so much. A freaking pound of American cheese is like $14. You know what I mean? I like grilled cheese with my tendies. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's a crazy new world we live in, guys. Hey, God bless, stay green. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.